Hello and welcome everyone to game number 2 between these two heavyweight players. Having just lost his game 1 with a mechanized group strategy as Austere, returning to Nexus, playing as the USF, it is going to be Jesulin. And his opponent winning game 1 very confidently. Playing as the OKW on the east side of Nexus is Jove. Once again, we saw in the last game that it was Jesulin who went straight into the match with a commander selection. This time he has done the same again, going for another mechanized commander, this time for the USF mechanized. And that may allow him to bring out some really cool early mobile units. That's definitely been Jesulin's playstyle. That I think we've seen in the tournament so far. He loves to be mobile on the field. He's all about good territory decaps, trying to deny resources from his opponent, and he likes to have that high damage output at close range, get in quickly, and get out again. That didn't work so well in the last game, and Jove, if he's been paying attention, will probably know how Jesulin's playing, what kind of thing to expect. Pioneers at the start. This is aggressive from Jove, and it's not going to pay off. Echelons and Riflemen. There's also one on the retreat path as well. And 2 expensive model losses right at the start. Jove probably could have gotten out of that engagement a bit earlier. You can hear now that the WC-51 has hit the field. Looks like Jesulin's preparing to load, I think, the Echelons in there. And we were talking about Jesulin with his really good resource denial strategies. That's what he's trying to do here. Not only is he trying to get the Kubel, he's trying to cut off the early supply of resources by decapping those strategic points that link up the fuel. It's a bit of a late retreat there from the Rifleman. He's trying to use the WC-51 to push the models around, stop them from firing back. As far as the start game goes, this is already a bit better from Jesulin than we saw before. He was very unlucky previously, and here's the role of the WC-51. Without the Echelons, he's going to hop out maybe to cap. No, you can cap inside, of course. And it's really nice. It's actually really nice. One thing that Axis need in order to get those really good countering units out on the field is fuel, and being able to deny the resource income from the start of the game is going to make it hard for Jove to do anything other than just bring out infantry and Raketans. Jove has gone for ground offensive doctrine, so late game Tiger here. Nice doctrine. Panzer Fusiliers will be able to bring out snares, bring out better range damage. Probably one of the more sensible choices, really, is without having one of the tier structures up, he's not going to be able to Faust. Of course, the Panzer Fusiliers can Faust immediately, so that would help with the WC-51 if for any reason Jesulin makes any mistakes getting that too near to the Panzer Fusiliers.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command. The enemy has cut our supply chain. A resource sector has been isolated.
Just seeing Jove bring on the first SWS. Not sure what to expect from this one. He's been a bit low on fuel. He is going to go for Mechanized Regiment. And that's probably necessary, actually. He's going to need something fast and mobile to deal with the WC-51. He knows now what the doctrine is. There's potentially going to be half-tracks coming in as well. I'll be interested to know whether he's going to go for the Puma or whether he's going to go for the Lukes. I think the Lukes is probably the better one, as it's going to be better at countering the infantry and the light vehicles, but you never know. I think Jove has done really well at this point to hold Jesulin back. Jesulin's done a lot of strategic decapping. He's taken a lot of the early game resources away from Jove. But what Jove's done is he's moved down to the south. And he's got the snaring unit here. He's capping. I think maybe might be laying some mines. I'm not sure if he has already yet. But as long as he can keep his fuel and as long as he can keep a VP, he will have time. Oh, this is nice from the Stern Pioneers. They're just going to pop out of the line of sight blocker and engage the Lieutenant at close range. Lieutenant is not going to win this engagement. Kugel's also coming in to give a little bit of help. I love this voice line from the Panzerfuser. Switch to G43s! I'd be like, we had G43s? Why weren't we using them? Looks like it is going to be the Lukes from Jove. And I think that's a really good idea. The Stuarts come out on the field now, which I think was maybe one of the reasons why you might want to go Puma when your opponent has such a big fuel lead over you. Likely that they're going to go for that over the half track. But I think the Lukes are still going to do okay. We're going to need to see a Raketin, I'm sure, from Jove. Else Jesulin's going to be able to dive in deeply on the Volksgrenadiers and push the Lukes back. Kubel here, just overextended, I think, to be expected really. Now you see the immediate change there from Jove. Actually, that is so unfortunate for Jesulin. Killing that Kubel, Jove had seconds to cancel that Lukes, and he did it immediately. He knows that the Lukes is not going to be able to deal with the Stuart. That's so unfortunate from Jesulin. Really, just seconds later, and he would have had the advantage on the field. Actually, Jove is now going to be able to counter this with the right play.
Puma, ready to deploy.
I like the Puma. I think it deserves a bit of an entrance.
Ready for battle.
Does have to be careful. Lieutenant has been upgraded early on actually with the bazooka, so there's always got to be some infantry around to fend that unit off. But just actually the threat of the Puma being there is going to make things harder for Jesulin to dive deeply. See there's a couple of shots being fired through the fog of war. Marked target there from the WC-51. I think that there were some changes last year to mechanized for the USF that made it really cool actually. WC-51 is a real utility car now, and it's actually a really nice unit even to keep alive later into the game. So let's check out Jesulin's base at the moment. A couple of squads not doing anything. See, the ambulance there wasn't in healing mode. It's a bit of a waste of time for Jesulin.
Has been cut off from our supply chain.
And it's funny to know that even the top players in this game still are not always utilizing factions' abilities as well as they could do. There is so much to this game that gets underused, actually, and we even saw it in the last game with the target weak point for the austere AT gun. So many opportunities for that to be used, not used. In any RTS game, time is also a resource. You have to be on top of time. You have to be on the front lines constantly. If you're going to take an extra 20 seconds to heal, that is a disadvantage. See, Jove is going to dive into the Lukes as well as the Puma. And it's a really, really strong build from Jove, actually. He's going to be able to counter the infantry really easily with the Lukes. He's going to be able to hold that Stuart WC-51 away. And really, we're just going to look for Jesulin to come up with the counter to this. I think probably an AT gun would be one of the best options. Or maybe just having some more mobile AT options on the infantry. Can't really just rely on the lieutenant to get in close with the bazooka, so we need to see some change from Jesulin here. No attacking in the base at the moment. Early game stats. Nothing special. Yeah, that's a marked target from the WC-51. If anything, just putting that on the Puma just opens up a little bit of time where the Puma has to retreat, just being scared. Just allows Jesulin to play the field a bit more, but actually this is not going well for Jesulin at all. The 50 cal goes down. There is a snare now on the Stuart, and the Puma going in for the WC-51 is going to have easy pickings on the Stuart now. Fortunately, the shot misses. Jove just doesn't have enough health to go in.
Standing by.
Oh, the Lukes just loses the vision on the 50 cal. Let's see if Jove's planted any more mines, actually. So just a one-shoe mine at the moment. See some of the riflemen have been upgraded with bars now. I actually wasn't expecting this for Jesulin to go with the upgrade into bars. If anything, I thought he would have been more keen to deal with the light vehicles. An interesting choice.
Fusiliers reporting for action.
I think whatever Jesulin's doing here at the moment is right. He's building up a lot of manpower, and really hasn't. Even in the last game, we saw there were a couple of stages of the game where he just wasn't spending that manpower. Either he's saving up for something at the moment, or he just doesn't feel like he needs anything. But having that extra squad on the field is always a really good advantage to have. But so far, loving the games from these two players. They're so good. They're so mobile. Both players all over the map. Nexus is a fantastic map. White Flash Reborn has done a lot to this to make it as competitive as possible. Of course, White Flash also made one of the other favorite competitive maps in this game of Crossroads. You see the Raketin is on the field now for Jove. I think it may have just hit that shot at long range. I think it may have even been ground attacking to get that. This is one of the things that's going to win this game is Jesulin. Just like Jove was in the last game, he's just jumping on the fuel at every single opportunity that he has. There's double Zooks on the Lieutenant now, and a Sherman has just come into the field for Jesulin. Late game for Jove is going to be the Tiger. That's what Jesulin is trying to avoid. He will know the Doctrine choice because of the Panzer Fusiliers. It is obvious what is coming in the late game. That's a little bit careless from Jesulin, actually. He's going to take a snare immediately. Not impressed with that at all. And great timing from Jove because he allowed the Raketten to get that first shot off and then had the snare lined up perfectly. We see the Lukes coming in. Where's the Puma? The Puma's also starting to make its way up the map. I think it sees an opportunity to do some damage, get some veterancy. This is why the Puma's so important. Every time that Stuart wants to jump on the Lukes, the Puma's there to say no. Jove desperately still trying to take his own fuel on the south. This time I don't think Jesulin has anything around. There's the marked target. Look at this, the WC-51 scaring the Puma away. I love this from Jesulin. It is actually very good play. Sherman is now repaired, and his MG-34 is going to have to retreat. No way it's going to be winning up against the Sherman. It's a big hit from the Puma. Absolutely necessary hit. WC-51's got to be careful now. And Jove sees it. Jove sees that opportunity. But the Puma continues to miss. The WC-51's just spinning around there. Finally a shot hits. WC-51 is down. Sherman takes a snare from the Volksgrenadiers. This is a really bad engagement for Jesulin. He's got to rely on the Zooks now to push that Puma away. Unfortunately, the Echelons and the Major have that upgrade. See here, Cavalry Rifleman. And Jesulin. Oh! That's a beautiful play! Chases the Puma down on the retreat with the Echelons and the Major and manages to get that final kill off on the Puma. Now there is next to nothing dealing with what is about to be two Shermans and a Stuart on the field. Jesulin has some close range output now with the Cavalry Rifleman. And I think the only thing stopping Jesulin is this shoe mine. Where's the Raketten? The Raketten may have gone down. Somewhere. Is it stolen? Yeah, it is. Didn't catch that, but it's a good steal from Jesulin, really. Well, Jove has one card up his sleeve right now, and that is, of course, the Tiger. I don't even know if he can get it. He needs the Panzerschwerer headquarters, and pretty much all of his fuel has gone out into mechanized units. I think he's going to be forced to play another Puma, perhaps two Pumas. There's nothing else he can do in this time frame. You have a look at the map right now and you see Jesulin just sitting casually on 3 VPs. The entire map is his and there's only an infantry force moving out. This looks great for Jesulin. Oh, that's a shame. Just about to pump out some cinematic mode to enjoy that. But there we go. GG, game 2 goes to Jesulin. It is now 1-1 in this series.